Hi Sag, welcome back to our channel. We're finally going to do your money reading, your financial reading, your career reading, business and entrepreneurship reading as well. Finally, we're getting to it, guys. So this feels good. I did pull some cards before we started we're going to start with your finances, with your money. Then we're going to go over into career, those of you who are career forward. And then we're going to end it off with business and entrepreneurship. I also will extend to you an extended reading where I'm going to do a deep dive on your finances in every category, from your money, from career based to business to entrepreneurship, what you can do right now that's going to magnetize your abundance. And it's going to be a big deep dive. I will leave the questions that will be answered. What? Sorry, guys. I choked up. I will be leaving the questions that I will be answering for you in your extended in the description box down below and also in the comment section. So if you want a sneak peek of what we're going to be exploring, see if it is for you, I will leave that down below for you. All right, so let's talk about some of these cards that came out. What is so interesting, I feel like how your money is going to magnetize, how you're going to be making purpose for yourself and what you're doing, and streamlining that income flow towards you. It has something to do with another person. So when I asked about the messages that need to come out for your abundance, for your money, it's kind of perplexing because we got some cards that you wouldn't think that this is related, but obviously there's significance here. So we have soulmates, we have date, and we have not today. Okay. Some of you guys, well, not some of you, I feel like everybody watching this reading, your finances are tied to some type of partnership. You have a great partnership that you're going to be entering this year of 2026. It's going to help streamline your money. Okay. So you have a get rich partner coming towards you. This person is a soulmate, so there's going to be a deep soul connection between you and this person. You guys will be coming to some type of financial agreement, whether that's just really doubling down on your goals together, or maybe entering a business partnership, networking together, some type of collaborative efforts. So you do have someone here who's like-minded, has similar goals, financial goals as you. And I see you and this person. It's like two heads are better than one. Okay, so you have a soulmate that's deeply tied to your financial abundance this year. Interesting, right? We also have date here. So it's a good time for you to get out there, to network, to speak, to be bold, because there's someone here who's waiting for you, or someone here who's going to resonate deeply with you when it comes to your financial goals. You also could be going on some dates, right? We are in the month of love, February. You could be going on a date with someone, and you guys talk about very intellectual things like finances, financial goals, values, what you're working towards this year. And that may spark something within you. So I feel like a door is opening for you and this person to collaborate, okay? Date also makes me think about how you're going to really love making your money this year. Sometimes we clock in to work and it's kind of dreadful. It's not the most exciting thing, but I see you finding purpose again. I see you finding passion for making your money, what you do to make your money, and almost like romanticizing your job or your efforts, your duty, your role, romanticizing it. So I feel like money is going to come to you very easily this year. Maybe if it felt very stagnant in the past, it's not going to be that way anymore. Another very important thing with the not today card being here, setting boundaries. You're setting financial boundaries. This could be like, hey, I'm not going to be able to cover this responsibility because I don't feel like that's in my role. Okay, so setting boundaries with your job, setting boundaries with your customers, your clients, setting boundaries with family, with friends, or even in a love situation, prioritizing yourself and not allowing someone to push past that. All right. So I just see you really Having a low tolerance if something is going to set you back, if something is making you have a lack of progress, if something is impeding on your focus, your concentration, you're going to set some very clear boundaries, and that's going to help you as well. You're asserting yourself. You're saying, hey, this is what I can offer, this is what I don't offer. You're not feeling bad about it, and that also magnetizes your income flow. All right, we have some more cards here. So very interesting again. We have the swans, okay? We have the swans. I read something about the swans this week, which is so interesting. I read that swans are one of the animals on Earth that do live life through a mate. So, sorry, I'm not explaining that the best. You know, some animals, they just get it in, they have their babies, and then they kind of separate. It doesn't mean anything. We're not together. We're not conjoined. We're not in a relationship. Some animals operate in that way. You know, they don't find purpose in having a mate. A swan is one of the only animals, and there's a limited amount of animals or species that do this. Swans are one of those animals who will have a lifelong mate. It's interesting, right? So they do see that two is better than one, or they do see the benefit of being in partnerships. So it's just interesting that that came out. Swans talks about soulmate energy, finding your twin flame, having faith through a partnership, a pair of things, okay, a pair of things, blooming love, finding the one, deep soul connections, divination, and fluidity. All right, so that is just so interesting. It's coming out about your money. I feel like this could probably open your horizons, because when we think about our own personal goals, especially financially, we just feel like that's our own lane, that's our own path. But there's someone here that's going to be opening up that frequency with you. Okay, so it's really beautiful. We have Waterfall here, which is another beautiful card coming out about your money. This talks about overflowing abundance, chasing after something, crying, emotional release. So also your money and how you're able to exponentially grow it could be tied to your emotional being. So if you have a lot of stored trauma, if you have a lot of emotions that you suppress, maybe you feel like I have to be this very logical person to reach my financial goals. There's something about releasing pain, maybe crying, and that helps to update your frequency to magnetizing that finances. So letting go of something finally, letting go of resentment, letting go of anger, sadness, grief. And that's going to help open the floodgates for that money to flow towards you. I also see fulfillment this year for you, which is really nice, or even just the beginning of this year. You're going to be releasing something, and you also will have tears of joy. There's something to be proud of. All right, it's that overflowing abundance. We have seed. All right, so something that you're planting right now has growth potential. There's some positive changes coming towards you financially. Small beginnings and big results. So you're starting something that seems small. It may feel like it's not a big enough dream, but you're going to see that it's going to provide you a really big, beautiful outcome. Hope is being restored, so you're feeling faithful again. You have the energy of belief, which is good. There's some hidden possibilities that are going to be sprouting for you. There's more than meets the eye right now. So if things are not really looking up right now, there's more to it that you just will uncover as you continue to go. Reproducing something and nutritious energy, nutritious, okay? So whatever you're planting right now, it will sustain you for a long time, if not forever. We have the Tower here. Okay. Lifetimes. Okay. Things from the past. This makes me think of ancestry. So you're doing something within your purpose. There's an energy of old money. Okay. Old money, which is really nice, which is sustainable. You know, it's not like new money. It's old money. It's quiet wealth that will continue to grow and sustains you and your generations to come. So it's really a big deal. There's something about refining your structure, your routine, refining your money, maybe even using old, tried and true practices to grow your money. This could be a year where you're really focused on saving for your retirement, investments, things that are going to have a great return of value. Also, government jobs. Okay, some of you guys could be working for the government or finding a really good opportunity through the government. Institutions as well. You're institutionalizing your business, your hustle if you're an entrepreneur. You're structuring something that it will have a long-standing energy. There's an energy also of education, so having to take training, classes, brushing up on your knowledge of certain things so that you can execute better. Taking things slow, so slow and steady wins the race. Slow is also sustainable. Slow is also guaranteed. Slow is also permanent. Enduring and becoming very distinguished in your financial role. And last but not least, I'm pretty sure if you've been on this channel for, this year even, you've seen this card in your readings, the winding road. Okay, so it urges you to take the long way. Don't think about get rich quick schemes. Those things are just not going to work for you and they're not sustainable. So taking the long way just gives a better guarantee. It's a good time to explore new avenues, explore new positions, new roles, new things that you can do to bring in money. This is a period of self-discovery. It's a period where you should be very flexible or adaptable, mutable, which you're already inclined to do. You're a mutable sign. Patience is needed, but you will be very happy with the results. So yes, you do need to be patient. You do need to show yourself a little bit of grace. But once it does hit, it's going to hit big. Use tact in whatever you do. A great time for a lot of personal growth or financial growth. Leisurely pace. So you should be enjoying what you're doing. You should feel comfortable, not stressed. You want more, but the time is coming. And a good time for you to adventure into something new. Try something new. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about your finances. This is the financial portion. I will put the timestamps in the description box and comment section down below for you as well. All right. So let's see. Let's talk about your finances. What does Sagittarius need to know about their finances at this time? What does Sagittarius need to know about their finances at this time? What does Sagittarius need to know about their finances? Give me some cards. Tell me about Sagittarius, their financial energy, their material world. What do they need to know? Wow. Okay, really cool. Bottom of the deck, we have the Lovers. Again, there's some type of soulmate energy coming towards you. Someone who will have your best interest at heart. Someone that you're going to be very aligned spiritually with. So your finances are very spiritually aligned. The desires that you and this person have for your life align. Okay, so there's a very purposeful partnership, collaboration, connection coming towards you. The problem and the reason that you and this person need to come together is the Emperor in reverse and also the Three of Pentacles in reverse. It's like trying to do everything alone, but then losing progress, not being the most productive, maybe leaning into burnout. Emperor in reverse is like you can't take care of all of these responsibilities by yourself. You need another strong leader around you, someone who stands with authority. So it's like two leaders coming together. I wasn't able to be as productive as this. This in my life doesn't have a lot of progress. Maybe you're the key for that. Okay, so it's like I can stand tall on my own. I have responsibilities that I'm on top of, but I've been lacking in this department because I need help or I need balance. Okay, so that's what this person will be unlocking for you. So it's interesting. And it does feel like a romantic connection. All right, they say don't mix business with pleasure, but for some of you, this is like you won't be able to deny that because it even feels like marriage. You know how marriage is a partnership, it is a business. It feels like that, like a power couple. So you and this person will not be able to not mix the two. There's friendship here, there's community, and there's also maybe love, like marriage is what I'm seeing. All right. Okay, let's talk about the cards that came out. All right, what we have here is the Seven of Cups. We have the Knight of Swords. And we have the Magician, okay? Very powerful energy you have right now of magnetizing your desires or manifesting your desires. You have incredible power, willpower right now with that Magician. You also have resources around you, okay? So you're not in lack. Even if you don't feel like you are where you want to be, you feel like you need something, you have good resources. You have the network around you. You may have money stowed away. You have the family, you have the knowledge, you have something that's you're going to be able to monetize during this season. Seven of Cups, you also are dreaming really big, okay? So you have a lot of ideas, lots of bright ideas here. It may be hard for you to separate what is real and grounded versus what is just kind of like imaginative and doesn't really have sustainability, okay? So I see you being a little confused. You're like, okay, these are great ideas. Which one is the most sustainable, or which one is going to give me results? You're coming out of that confusion, especially with the Knight of Swords. That Swords energy is like clarity. So I see you having a breakthrough. Could be very soon. We are having the eclipse in Aquarius. I think that's on the 17th of February. So could be next week that you finally have this breakthrough and you know what opportunity to seize. You know what opportunity is for you, and that is going to have success. So you're making a decision here finally, right? You've been sitting in a lot of your ideas. You've been doing a lot of brainstorming, but finally you're going to know what path is meant for you. So you're seizing some type of opportunity. It's not a missed opportunity, which is really good. All right, clarify the Seven of Cups. Tell me about the Seven of Cups regarding your money. There's something too about like consolidation, okay? Especially when it comes to your finances, consolidating things, breaking things down. So like you may need a program or a journal where you can write everything down. This is the day that my bills are going to be coming out. This is how much it's going to be. This is what I want to put away to saving. You need to use like maybe one app. If you have like 4 different financial apps, that's clouding your energy. That's stopping your progress. You need to consolidate to one tool. Okay, so one tool here, even with the Magician, right? Magician has a plethora of tools in front of them. They have the pentacle, the cups, the wand, the sword. What are you going to use and stick with that? Are you going to use your intellect, your knowledge, your intelligence? Is it time for you to be logical about something? Are you going to use the cup, your dreams, your vision, your passion behind something, your emotions behind something to make something a realization? Are you going to use that wand, your motivation, your determination, action, self-activation? Are you going to use the pentacle, money that you save, to invest into something? So you need to be clear about what tool you're going to use and just stick at one at a time, because having too many options is slowing your progress because you can't decide. So it's time for you to use one. Now I do see a mixture of the two. You're coming out of the cups. So you're coming out of your dreams, what you visualize for yourself, your desires, what you can see ahead. And you're going to be taking action using that sword. You're using intelligence, wisdom, knowledge, intellect, your voice to connect to this next, unlocking this next chapter of abundance. All right, let's see. Tell me about the Seven of Cups for Sag. Ooh, there's an opportunity here. Okay, so you have upgraded in life. Your finances are taking a big upgrade. Look, I told you you're going to be using that sword. Bottom of the deck, we have the Ace of Swords. Okay, so you're using truth. You're coming to some type of clarity. You're cutting out of confusion. You're getting a breakthrough next week. And you're going to act on that. You're using your intelligence, your smarts, okay, to seize some type of opportunity. Very good. We have the World card here, or the universe. So there's an opportunity that you got because you earned it. Okay, so this is not like, luck, or this isn't, a coincidence. It's something that you earned. You learned some lessons here. You didn't resist change. You became very flexible, adaptable to how your life is changing. You didn't put up a fight or a temper tantrum. And so now the universe is blessing you with a new door opening here with the world or the universe. So there's an opportunity. There's also an opportunity to relocate or to travel that may be tied to your finances. So look out for that. Now, when you enter this next checkpoint, it's a very slow and steady process. Okay, with that Knight of Pentacles, I love that because this is a very stable person. This is someone who's very reliable. They make promises and they keep it. This is someone who puts in the work every day. They have repetition about themselves. There's longevity with whoever this person is. And pretty soon, eventually, they're going to reach that pinnacle of success of becoming the Queen of Pentacles or the King of Pentacles. So you're really on the right path. You're doing very practical things, okay? So you have that big dream of yours, but you're going to come to an understanding that maybe I need to do the more practical idea to unlock the bigger idea. So I'm not throwing away my grand ideas, my breakthroughs, my downloads. I'm not throwing that away. I'm just doing the more practical thing to unlock that in the future. That's still a part of my destiny. All right, so that's what I'm seeing here. I have to say too, Seven of Cups is the energy of being in a daze. So anything that keeps you in a daze, you want to refrain from that right now. It doesn't mean you have to give it up, but just do it less, okay? For example, the Seven of Cups is often associated to highness. So, smoking, drinking, something like that is keeping you bound. You don't have to give up your ganja, but maybe do it a little bit less to keep a clear head, especially because you're utilizing the swords energy, which is the mind. You want to keep the mind clear. Okay, so anything that fogs up your decisions, anything that slows you down from taking action, you want to just do it in moderation. Kind of put it on the back burner for now. You'll have time to celebrate later and do what you want to do, but your money is more important right now, okay? And your path ahead is way more important, this opportunity. All right, let me see what's going on here. Social media could also be that drug, right? Looking at people's lives that you may admire, their success, but then you're just admiring every day. You're not really taking action. So there's something that you need to cleanse yourself of temporarily. Yeah, look. So from those grand ideas, there's one that's very practical, one that just is going to make sense for you. And don't worry if you don't know what that is now. You're going to get that breakthrough next week during the eclipse in Aquarius. Also, if you want to follow me to the extended, I'm going to help unlock that for you as well, okay? But we have origin. So you are planting a seed that's going to grow into this beautiful, abundant tree down the line. Right now, you know that it's not an overnight thing. And you don't want overnight because it's fleeting. You want something that's sustainable, something that has longevity and permanence in your life. And that's what you're going to be feeding into. So getting very clear-headed about what you need to do, your next action that you're supposed to take. Not trying to pre-plan the whole process. You're just being strategic about how you start. I don't know how it's going to be down the line, but I just know what action I'm supposed to take to start. All right. Self-starter energy. You're activating something new with this Knight of Swords. Tell me about the Knight of Swords. It's never too late, by the way. So if there's something that you procrastinated from handling, something that you've been avoiding with your finances, it's never too late to make that phone call that department, pay that bill. Even if you just need to make a payment plan, okay? Because Knight of Pentacles and this Swords energy is all about planning, being strategic. So even if you have to do a plan to attack something and get it out of your life, do the snowball effect with your debt, it's not too late. You haven't missed your mark yet. Tell me about the Knight of Swords. All right, Nine of Wands. Something has to give now. Like, I don't see you passing this up at all because something has to give. You're in this energy of the Nine of Wands. You could be feeling exhausted. You know, you're exhausted with some type of narrative. You're exhausted with how the things used to be. Some of you don't even know that you're reaching this world card energy, that your universe and God is so pleased with you that they're going to be bringing you a big blessing. So some of you guys are not aware of that. But either way it goes, you are just so tired of being on the defense, bracing yourself for impact, feeling defeated, exhausted. Okay, so something has to give, and I see you taking action. All right, Two of Wands in reverse. Two of Wands in reverse is the energy of like, okay, Two of Wands is an energy of power. It's like Aries energy, you know, like the god of war. So you almost like brace yourself for impact. But I see that you're coming out of that. There's nothing to fear here. There's not going to be conflict coming towards you. There's not a greater power against you, whether that's like an institution that you owe money to, or, you know, your bills, whatever it may be that you could have feared in the past. You are the bigger opposition. You're the bigger power here. You have more control than you think. So just by taking this action, you're going to see that. You have to push past fear, whatever is scaring you. Whether it's like going for that job, having to interview again, maybe launching that new product, that new service. You have to push past that. You're going to see that you are fearing nothing. You are the more powerful being right now. That's something that you have to embrace, but you will never step into that and know how that feels unless you take action. So I'm urging you to act and don't be afraid. Yeah, you're going to see evidence of this. You're going to see evidence that something is not as scary as it seems and that you're way more than equipped to handle this. Okay, so it's like it's after you take that action, you're going to get proof immediately how good something gets, how great of an outcome that you get from just pushing past your fears here. And you don't have to brace yourself for impact. Nothing is coming to set you back, okay? So that's important for you to know. Tell me about the Magician. Lots of eyes on you right now. You have an audience. So what you do right now does count. Maybe you felt like you put in so much work in the past and it was just not recognized. It was overlooked. What you do right now does count. There's a lot of eyes, a lot of people, you know, scoping your scene here. All right, Page of Pentacles. Some of you guys have doubts because you feel like you're a beginner. You're at the beginning stages of trying to do something new. But again, you will never know unless you try. The Fool. You have to pivot into something new. You're more adept than you think, okay? So I see you gambling, taking a risk here. You're about to commit to something new. You feel a little weird because you're like, I'm not the expert yet. All right, but what you do is good enough. And the people watching you are not experts themselves. So there's something that you're providing that they're going to see as masterful, as skillful, especially with that Magician on your side. Okay, You may feel like you don't have a lot to offer, but you still need to put yourself out there, if that makes sense. Some of you guys are wanting to start a business, but you're like, I don't have a full service list. I don't have a lot of products to put on the shelves. You still need to put what you have out there. Whatever you got, make it count, okay? And you're stepping into a very liberating time where you feel financially free. You're stepping into financial freedom. Very soon you're going to realize the only thing holding you back was you, okay? Fear. There's a lot of fear here. Ooh, okay. Who else is watching you at this time? Family. Your children could be watching you at this time. The things that you're doing, showing them how great of a provider you are, will stick with them for life. Okay, so there's something really significant about that. Family, you know, ancestral. If you have if you feel like you've been in this generational mindfuck of finances, you know, and you want to break free from that, you're going to be the catalyst for other people in your family. You also have someone here who will become your family, this soulmate that you're going to be bonding with. This person is also paying attention as well. Some of you guys are going to be very surprised and shocked by who this person is. Whether it's someone that you're going to go on a first date with and you weren't expecting much of it, not really your type, they're going to shock you. Or if this is even someone that's already in your environment that is going to be tuned in and they want to join the cause, that's going to shock you as well. All right. So yeah, that's for your financial portion. You're doing some good things. What you can expect right now is that your money is adjusting. You may not feel like you have the riches that you want, but you have enough to sustain yourself. You have enough to pay your bills. You're coming into financial freedom. Your bank account is never going to be at zero. But let me tell you something. This is only true if you make that first step. Not saying that you need to act today, because obviously there's some downloads coming towards you very soon this month. So as soon as you do get that clarity, then you act. And then you'll see that you're very financially free. I don't see anything to worry about. I don't see any shocking news or things that come out of nowhere. I don't see you being in lack. I see a lot of positive energies and I see a lot of growth. All right. Moving on, let's talk about people who have careers, career-focused energies, what you need to know right now when it comes to your career. For my Saggies who are focused on their career, what do they need to know at this time? What do they need to know at this time? Give me some messages. Wow, okay. Interesting. All right, Queen of Wands. People are really attracted, the people who matter, right? Like the bosses, the higher ups, very attracted to your energy right now. You are more so likely to get what you ask for at this time, okay? It's a good time to demand, not in a very controlling way, but also just speaking very boldly about what you want because you're so likable, because you're so attractive in your talent, your skill, whatever you offer, you're more likely to get what you want and what you deserve at this time, okay? Justice is here, so you're more likely to get what you deserve. You've been a little fed up because you've been putting in a lot of hard work, hard hours, and you feel like you're not getting the recognition that you deserve. You're sitting on a masterpiece here. You're mastering some type of skill that's very valuable, but you may feel like you're not getting the outcomes that you want. This is coming to an end. You're not going to be feeling fed up anymore. Something is changing for you, okay? What I see is so interesting is the Knight of Wands. I feel like you're going to be asked to step in a role that's very fleeting. Okay, so it's like temporarily you're stepping into this role. Temporarily you're going to be doing this. Temporarily you're going to be working here. And I see you really loving this space. Okay, so whatever role, whatever department, whatever their task that they're giving to you temporarily, you love it. It makes you happy. Also, in this role, you're being recognized. There's a lot of visibility here. And it's an energy that makes you feel less of an adult and more of your inner child. So it's a lot of playfulness. It's like people could have playful banter. It's not so serious all the time. There's an energy of being creative, coming up with new concepts that's going to make you really happy. All right. So it's fleeting, it seems, with the Knight of Wands. But what I feel and what I see that is so beautiful is that it actually is going to become your new home. So it's like, hey, I need you to go over to this area for 2 weeks. We have someone who's going to be out. We don't know how long they're going to be out, but you're just going to, this is your mission for these 2 weeks. You go to this next department, probably a little fed up because you feel like, this is just something that they're ushering me into. This is not what I asked for. You do very well. You're very fast. You're faster than most. What? I don't know why I can't talk today. Like, what is wrong with me? You're faster than most at doing this skill. You're really good. You really enjoy your space. And then there's a sadness as that 2 weeks comes to a close. You're like, damn, I got to go back to my old thing. But what you're not seeing or what you're going to be blessed with here is a new community. So you're here to stay. You're finding a new home. Something that you thought was not permanent is now going to become permanent. Some of you guys have picked up contracts that you feel like, damn, my contract is about to end, but they're going to extend to you or offer you a permanent position. So you get a very big blessing here. Tell me about the Knight of Wands. Yeah, a sudden change becomes your next place. Everything that I said is coming out. I love this. We have Five of Pentacles. So there's a change or disruption in your schedule. Something that you didn't ask for. Something that's just being called of you. What you don't know is that it's opening up growth or expansion. It's taking you into a new energy. This is a place where you can be more creative. You're not feeling restricted. You're feeling like you're romanticizing your job, okay? So it's really nice, and I see you really enjoying it here with the Sun, of course. Clarify the Knight of Wands. Wow, marriage. You think something is fleeting. You think something is like temporary, and it's something that you're going to actually be committed to. It's your next commitment. It's committing to you back, okay? It's aligned even with that marriage energy. It's aligned. There's something here where, you know, that new role, that new department is going to be dependent on you. So it's like you can't go back. We need you here, okay? It's nice. It's a really nice energy. I see you just feeling very victorious with the Triumph card being on the bottom of the deck. It's a place where you get a lot of visibility, that you're seen, you're heard, you're valued with the Sun. It's a place where it doesn't feel so restrictive, that you can create and that your creations are being valued here. It's a place where you're going to get a lot of recognition, a lot of visibility, a lot of exposure. You're also being exposed to a new role that you didn't really think twice about before. It's almost like, okay, now I'm working in HR, but I don't know anything about HR, and then you actually love it. Or now I'm working in financing, in accounting. I thought that was going to be boring, but I actually love it here, okay? So it's exposing you to something that you're really good at, something that is very interesting, something that you could be passionate about, that you weren't going to be able to see unless it happened this way. Yeah, the Hierophant is here, okay? I really feel like you're learning something new. Yep, you are. Hierophant and the Page of Pentacles. You're getting training on something, and you could even be thinking to yourself, like, why am I getting training on something if this is supposed to be temporary? That seems like a waste of time, right? But you're actually being trained to stay. Even with that Hierophant, there's a strong commitment that's going to be made to you. So you're getting a new position, and it's permanent. You're learning something new that makes you happy. It's better than what you were doing before. You're feeling like, okay, I'm leaving something that I'm truly skilled at, that I have repetition with, and I've learned and I've mastered. Now I'm being pushed into something different that I have to learn all over again. Now I'm like the student, but you're happy about this. It makes you really, really happy. It's a good energy. And I feel like you're deserving of this, especially with the world. Like the universe is very pleased with how you've been working hard, how you've been very disciplined. Tell me about the Sun. Yeah, collaboration. You're coming into a really good partnership, by the way. Okay, someone here could be putting in a great word for you. Someone recognizes your value. They feel like you're fit. They're going to put in a good word for you, okay? But also the team, the department, the team, the people who work in this department, you're going to feel very pleased with them. You feel like it's a energy of unity and not competition. So it's really nice. It's a nice adjustment. I mean, I have nothing but positive things to say about these cards. 10 of Cups, okay? You get the happy news, something to celebrate. You get the family at work, okay? So work starts to feel like a family and not like a corporation just working you like a slave. Tell me about the 10 of Cups here. But there's fulfillment in what's being unlocked for you, this opportunity. There's a lot of fulfillment here. Tell me about the 10 of Cups. When this happens for you, do celebrate. Now, I do see that maybe some coworkers may want to celebrate with you, or there's someone very significant here that wants to celebrate with you. But definitely do celebrate. Go out and buy yourself a nice meal. Get yourself a gift. Have a drink, okay? So tell me about the Ten of Cups. The Sun is coming out again. You're moving into a place of harmony, bliss, perfect unions, okay? A perfect match. You're getting into a role that feels like the perfect match for you. Page of Swords, you're changing something up. You've kind of like sat back and watched as you were put into this temporary role, and you've adjusted quite well, and now you're a part. Okay, there's the energy of acceptance here. Maybe in your past situation, you didn't feel accepted. You didn't feel wanted or valued. Here, as you are having to be flexible and you were open to it, you didn't decline it, because I do also get this sense that you had an option. You had an option to say no, and maybe they would ask the next person. But you said yes. You were flexible, and that's why you're being granted this very beautiful outcome here. People are talking about you, whatever this new energy, this new environment, people are saying positive things. So there's gossip on you, but very positive associated to the Sun. People like your ideas, okay? People like your personality. Yeah. Schedule is here, okay? So you're getting a new schedule or a new role. Management also could be very happy with you, wanting you to stay. Okay, with the schedule card, and you're going to have to organize yourself because you're stepping into just a new schedule. You're going to have to adjust different days of the week, different hours now, maybe even a different route that you're used to from driving to work. Maybe there's relocation here. And so now you have to get organized. I also see you having better work-life balance. So you also will have more free time, more freedom. Really nice. This is perfect to me. Perfect. Okay. Let's move on to business and entrepreneurship. For those of you who have your own businesses, your own hustle, if you're an entrepreneur, this one is for you. Okay. Give me some messages for my Saggies who have businesses, or they're entrepreneurs, or they're hustlers. What do they need to know right now? What do they need to know right now? Oh, come on. All right. You have similar energy from the career-oriented people. We have the Queen of Wands. So very favorable right now. People really like you, your personality. People like your business, whatever you do. They like it. There's attention to it right now, and it's magnetizing people in. So it's a good time to play off of that. And again, I'm going to be doing an extended after this. I'm going to answer all of your questions. I'm going to answer a question about what you should offer. What's going to be the most appeasing. Okay, so you definitely want to stay tuned for that and extended. Link will be in the description box or in the comment section down below. There's something that is not going to have a second chance, okay? There was some type of avenue that you were going towards that you're not going to have a second chance. The reason being, it's not sustainable, all right? Ace of Wands in reverse. It could be very exciting, but it's not rooted in reality. It also may be something that burns you out really quickly, okay? So it's like exciting to offer, it's exciting to do, or it seemed like it was at first, but it depletes your energy too fast, which makes it unsustainable because you're not able to continue to do it over a long period of time. So now it's time to pivot. I see you pivoting. Okay, so you're moving away from the Ace of Wands in reverse and you're going towards the Ace of Pentacles, something that brings in more of an income, something that has longevity, something that is worth your time, your efforts. Whatever this past thing wasn't worth it. It was just depleting you, you know? This is something that has permanence that you can do over a long period of time, something that you can scale and grow. It's that seed that's coming in for you. And you're going to have that realization very soon, if not during this read. And we have the Knight of Wands. So it's like an urge to have speed. Once you figure out whatever this offer is, this product, this sales tactic that you're going to come up with, that you know that you can grow, you need to move quickly. You can't sit on it, okay? Knight of Wands. And you have to know that you're favored right now. So no matter if you're feeling low energy, no matter if you feel like you've been procrastinating as you're trying to rest up and rejuvenate yourself, people or your audience or your clients or your customers are still attuned to you. Okay, you haven't lost that focus. Ooh, my stomach. Okay. All right, let's clarify that Ace of Wands in reverse. This less than favorable situation or offer or whatever you were doing that just was a big burnout. Tell me about this. What are you giving up? What are you not giving a second chance to? All right, Empress. Something that you created, something that feels like your baby, okay? Something that feels like your baby. It's painful. It's like, I birthed this. I created this. I was very motivated with whatever this was, but it wasn't growing. It couldn't grow. It was depleting you, you know? It was depleting you. It was depleting you, okay? And yes, you went through some ups and downs with the Wheel of Fortune. Something didn't feel very lucky, but the luckiest thing is you really realizing when to walk away. That's when your luck changes. I'm not giving up on my whole mission. I'm just giving up this thing because even though it felt very exciting and it was rooted in love and passion and drive, I just don't have the drive or the motivation to keep it going. It was burning me out. Something there was off. So now your luck is changing in a very big way, okay? Destiny is working in your favor because you're not beating a dead horse. Let's see. Tell me about this Ace of Wands in reverse. Yeah, something was just too stressful. Too stressful. It's not worth it. It's not worth the stress. Okay. There was much more sad days than positive days with whatever this was. This offer, this service, it was burning you out. It could have been a hot commodity, but you couldn't even keep it up. So it's like, I have to let this go. I have to pay attention to what makes me feel whole, what makes me feel grounded, what keeps me in a high frequency. Okay. Something was more of a headache than happiness or victory. Something was more pressure than feeling easygoing. And you're moving into a very leisurely energy where you're romanticizing your business, you're romanticizing what you offer, and it feels more comforting. It shouldn't feel stressful, okay? So you're letting this shit go. It was good while it lasted, but that was a limited time. It's time for me to pivot to something new. Your next offer here, your next service, your next product, whatever this is, it's going to grow. Okay. And it's going to bring in the big bucks. All right. So I see you having to make a little bit of an investment at first, and then you monetize from that. Tell me about that Ace of Pentacles. The universe is helping as well. So you're going to see little nudges, little blessings, little miracles. May not be big. It's not like you're getting a windfall, but the universe comes through to source this new venture for you. All right. Now, this also for my business owners, entrepreneurs, hustlers, this also seems like finding a connection that's rooted in trust and commitment. Let's see. Tell me about this, the Ace of Pentacles. All right, Six of Swords in reverse. This is something that you're not going to sit on, okay? We're just going to keep that mantra. I will not sit on this next thing. I will act. Because you have the Six of Swords in reverse. So this is not a time that you're going to be playing idle. It's not a time where you're going to feel like, oh, I'm in transition, so I'll just wait till the end of this year and then I'll post. I'll wait till the end of this year and then I'll launch. No, you're going to be launching. As soon as you get this clarity, you're going to be launching. You have support here. That's the thing that you need to know. You may feel like you're lacking momentum, motivation, but you have the audience. You have the people who are so loyal to you and what you do that want something from you. They want to eat what you create, okay? They're looking for their next plate. I know you said that you need to refine your business. You said you want to change your menu. You wanted to have the fancy chairs. You wanted to have the fancy table dress. You wanted to change the outside sign. But I don't care about that. When are you slinging them plates? Can I get a plate? Okay. I don't care about all the fancy this, fancy that. I don't care about you changing your image, your reputation. Where the hell is the chicken plate? All right. That's what these people want to know. You have some very loyal people here who have not turned their back on you. So you have to offer these people something. Okay. You have to offer them something. And this next offer, you may not feel like it's as much because it's very practical. It's not something that excites you, right? Like how that last thing did. But it's easier for you to produce. And it brings in that money continuously. And it has longevity. Like it's something that you can continue to offer over and over and over again. And you know that's going to give you these results. It's not like you're gambling. It's something that I know if I produce 25 chicken plates, then I'm going to make 2,500 every weekend. I know that. That's a fact with whatever this is because it's practical. It's practical. All right, so you need to know people don't care what you're going through right now. People do not care. Your clients do not care that you're like, you feel like you need to refine this, change this, offer more. Just put something out there that's going to grow. Something sustainable is growing here. This is your karma, your good karma, okay? The universe understands how something has stressed you out, how something kind of set you back, how something exhausted you or even burnt you out. This is your Wheel of Fortune moment. It's the pivot to your success, and your money will grow from there. I don't see you worried about your money anymore, worried about how you're going to pay things. Another thing that I've seen in the career reading, because business is a career, entrepreneurship is a career, hustling is a career. If you're going to want it to have sustainability, it's your career. And one of the things that I've seen in the career portion, if you watched or if you didn't, was consolidation. Or was that in the financial portion? Okay, consolidation. So maybe it's time to consolidate what you offer. You don't need to offer a whole long list of things. That only confuses your audience. You just need to offer one great thing, one thing that has a lot of value. You put that out there and it grows, okay? Things are going to be balanced now with that justice energy. Tell me about the Knight of Wands, moving with speed. Moving with speed. Moving with speed. Tell me about that. Ace of Swords. Okay, so that's the truth. That's your clarity. If you're confused about when to do something, do it now. Once you have planned out, you have the strategy of what you want to create, you're like, okay, this won't burn me out. This is something that I can continue to provide day after day, week by week, month by month, year after year. Once you have that truth within yourself, that clarity, act. Don't sit on it. Don't overanalyze. Don't be like Virgo energy. Don't overanalyze. Pick apart every little thing. Put it out there, even if you feel like it's not 100% perfect. You're going to be surprised by your results. And you're creating a very loyal fan base or audience or clientele, customers, very loyal, people that see you as family, that are going to want to buy over and over and over again. All right, Queen of Swords in reverse as well. Don't be jaded, just because this thing didn't work out and you probably put your all into it and you birthed it from the ground up. Don't be jaded, about your life or your business, your career, your entrepreneurship, your hustle. Do not become jaded. Also, Queen of Swords in reverse is hyper independence. Now, from the beginning of this reading, we talked about how there's a collaboration coming towards you. Someone here who's going to be a true leader, and you guys need each other as like reliable partners to help move this momentum forward. So this is not a time to be hyper independent. If there's a way that people around you can help, like your family, your friends, maybe someone new coming into your life, allow that. I feel like people who are very big perfectionists, which if you're creating something, obviously you want it to be perfect, you want the value to shine through, but they tend to not allow anyone else to jump in and help and delegate, responsibility. So part of you becoming this big boss lady, boss man is learning delegation, knowing how to, assign roles. Or even if people are helping for free, your friends, your family, giving them roles that are going to help minimize your efforts so that you don't have to burn yourself out. And when this person comes towards you, because I see you approaching a group of people or maybe just one person, you don't want to be too hyper independent that you reject help. You need help right now, okay? All right, so that's what I have for you. Again, guys, if you want to follow me to the extended, I think it will be super beneficial. It will help to answer all questions that you may feel confused about, alongside the downloads that the universe is going to be sending you next week. But I feel like this is going to be a very powerful reading. I'm going to hit all bases. Okay, so this is incredible. This is like the first time I've ever done an extended like this. So I just don't want you guys to miss it. That link will be in the description box down below. Really quickly before we go, guys, I do want to remind you, or if this is your first time on my channel, I did just release a new candle. It is the Lovers. Obviously, it is a play on the Lovers card in tarot. This is what it looks like inside. It has rose quartz in there for the extra properties of love, self-love, healing, bringing love in for you. This is for the type of person who's ready to draw in aligned partnerships. And I think that's really important based off of this finance reading. That you see that you have a soulmate coming in, you have a partnership coming in. So this is to draw in that aligned partnership, that soulmate. It's also an energy of rooting your decisions, making choices out of love for yourself and feeling comfortable in those decisions, not overthinking your decisions, feeling very confident in your decisions and aligning your choices towards your opportunities. So this candle has a lot of properties in it. It is a prepared candle, which means that I do have different properties that kind of align that magic towards you. And if you're interested, I do have a coupon code. It is LOVE10 for 10% off if you do want to snatch this up, okay? So yeah, that will be on my website. I will leave the link in the description box in the comment section down below. I feel like I'm about to be leaving a whole paragraph down there. And on top of that as well, we have the extended. So whatever you're interested in, definitely check out those links. I love you guys so much. Stay safe, stay beautiful. Make sure to comment down below if something called for you to comment. Subscribe to the channel because you do not want to miss more videos like this, especially centered for my Saggies only. I love you guys and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.